Hello there, Golf Freak here, and welcome to my solo Let's Play of Baldur's Gate 3. So, a couple things first off, I'm doing this significantly behind at this point the multiplayer game. I'm going to be more or less falling behind the multiplayer game, but we've traveled enough around the area and I know kind of more or less what I want to do that might be different or different things that happen that I decided to play a solo game and record it. I also want to make sure that we do get some of the companion plot lines that we're obviously going to be unable to do in a 4-player game, so I went ahead and decided to do a single-player game. Now I've gone and I've started the game and done the tutorial. There's a couple reasons why I skipped the tutorial. First off, I'm sure you've seen it plenty of times, just like me. This is my 5th time going through the tutorial. The first time was in the multiplayer game. The second time was so I could switch race in the multiplayer game. The third time was so I could play as a potential ranger. I think I was planning on going ranger gloomwalker combo, but that's going to end up probably being my off-camera game. And then I played another game as a Githyanki wizard, which I was intending to do, but then I got a little bit of the way through it and I decided, well, you know what, having my character not be the face, to be honest, kind of sucks. So I want to run around as my character, I want to do stuff, so I want a character that's charisma based, and as such, I am a warlock. I decided to, go figure, pick the Archfey subclass for warlock, but I have since decided that I actually want to switch to the great one, but that's fine. Or the old one rather, which is basically Cthulhu. And the reason why I wanted this is because, well, this guy, the Fey eventually gets like invisibility and greater invisibility, which the build I'm planning to do, which doesn't really come into play for a long time, is pretty good. But I've since decided that ultimately it doesn't happen until much later on in the story. It doesn't really benefit me. The spells that I get are Fairy Fire, which as a Drow male I get for free anyway, one time, and given how rarely I plan on using it, I don't really see a point. So I've opted to switching to the Great One. The Great One also gets Detect Thoughts, which I feel is very important for the face because it has come up and it does give free advantage. So it's something that I feel is important. On that note, I am playing as a male Drow, mostly because I get the free Fairy Fire and the free Darkness spell, as I apparently the reason why I switched from Warlock previously is because Warlock was busted unless you main as a Warlock, which I'm planning on doing, or the Darkness spell with the Eldritch Invocation did not work correctly. Apparently it's working now, so as such the Darkness spell is much more viable. Yeah, so I can pick Fairy Fire because I am them. We're going to pick Sleep. I think Sleep is going to be better. So what am I going to do? So I want Agonizing Blast. When catching Eldritch Blast, you add your Charisma modifier, the damage it deals. So that's incredibly important because it gives just straight up a buttload of extra damage. Armor of Shadows, that's not for the build. Beast Speech with animals at will isn't terrible, but it's not really what I'm looking for. Proficiency in oh, interesting. So this would actually be a really good one for the face. I didn't realize they had Deception and Persuasion. I might actually swap to this, depending on how well I like Devil's Sight. Agonizing Blast is too important for a Warlock that I plan to primarily use Eldritch Blast with, though that may change in the future, but I'm not sure how many levels down the line that will change. So I'm gonna go ahead and get Double Sight. But yeah, no, this is actually very good. Proficiency, Deception, and Persuasion are free, considering the face is pretty good. And then Replace spell, yeah, I like Armor back at this on like Hex, so there's nothing to change there. Yeah, we're just gonna eventually get Withers. Gonna go ahead and
anything of use?
Swap that out, but for the moment, I got nothing to worry about. Let's go talk to Shadowheart. So the interesting thing about me playing the Drow, I'm not playing an evil Drow, I'm playing one of the good Drow. And also me playing a male Drow has something to do with it. I have the Artisan background, so I'm thinking more along the lines of I was a topside Drow, not an Underdark Drow. this is a pretty big distinction, considering that drows are basically sadistic evil sadistic evil matriarchy, except for the good drow, who basically want nothing more than to destroy that, which is along the lines of what I personally would want in such a situation. So we're not going to reach for the artifact. We're going to go ahead and wake her. I don't think this does anything to that, but yeah.
You're alive. I'm alive.
Speaking of evil, he is a
this possible?
cleric of Shore, I believe. Shore is basically a sadistic deity who takes pleasure in like ripping or making people suffer, like giving hope and causing suffering type of thing. So yeah, a lot of fun for your patron.
I remember the ship. I remember falling. Then nothing.
Any idea where we are?
No, I don't recognize this place. But anything's an improvement on where we just came from. First things first, we need supplies, shelter, and most of all, a healer. We might have escaped, but we still have these little monsters in our heads.
That was weird. Want to stay together?
We need each other, and we both know what's at stake. Think of better company.
All right, let's go.
One thing, just before we go. I wanted to thank you again for freeing me.
That's
It would
okay.
have been all too easy for you to run right past my pod, but you didn't.
We don't need to do that. Didn't need to free you, but I wanted to kill
Lead the way.
both of them to get the XP to level everybody up, because it definitely makes everyone's lives much easier. All right, so for her, I see no reason not to just continue on with the cleric. I do hate her stats. I will be respecting her just. Yeah, I'm respecting her just to change these stats because these are god awful. Having the three of the four most important stats for a cleric being odd numbers is just, what are you doing? It's terrible. So we definitely wouldn't want that. And now for prepared spells. So I don't think we need Cure Wounds, honestly. Cure Wounds is a good spell, but ultimately it's not really needed because if you're going to heal, you're going to heal outside of combat, and that's what short rests are for. And given that we're going to have a kind of a hybridization between short and long rest within the party, it seems completely unnecessary. Good spells, though, would be Bless, because Bless makes it easier to hit people and easier to take less damage. And that's a good concentration spell to have. And since it's a concentration spell, I don't really want another concentration spell. Protection from Good and Evil is not terrible given certain circumstances, but also isn't that great. And otherwise, I think Guiding Bolt, just so we could get an advantage against a target I really wanted to get it against. Then Inflict Wounds for an extra necromancy spell, and then Shield of Faith just for the better stuff. And this is something you can change. Whenever you prepare spells with any spell list, you can change it so long as you're not in combat. This is different from 5e, which requires a long rest. And I understand the reason why they did this in the game, but oh my gosh, is it set up for being abused. But for example, if you cast Find Familiar as a wizard, you can do it once per short rest. If you don't want to take a short rest and you've lost your familiar, and then, you know, you can just switch it out for another spell. There's no loss for you there. Old floppy hat. We're gonna take all of the backpacks and pouches and whatnot. Well, go ahead. And I was debating whether or not to pause the video while doing stuff, but I think there's more or less enough stuff to do. I think I could throw that on people and make people wet with water, so I'm gonna keep a hold of that. Now send all of your supplies to camp, by the way. There's no point in keeping them. We've got some mind flayers up here, so I'm not going to continue to go that way because I'm not planning on sneaking and slowing myself down. Not really a huge reason to do that. It would be nice if it should have told you if there's nothing on the body, so you didn't have to run around and, you know, check stuff. There is a faster way of doing that, but
fresh water. There must be a settlement nearby.
Interesting conclusion. Can I pick this up? I can't. Pick up and add to wares. Read. I love you. Said it me. Aww. Let's go to Baldur's Gate. Leave your buddy meet at the hill of an old bridge whenever you can carry him. Make it down the rest. I'm gonna hold on to that just in case she's there. Because it implies that implies that there may be someone waiting for him. Which sucks. I'm not gonna bother picking that up. Not to camp. Thieves' tools, excellent. So we could use these tools to try to pick the ancient door, but I don't have sleight of hand. And I have another use for it. I will be doing a little save scamming, by the way. It won't be much, but I do have, except for something serious in the multiplayer game, we won't be save scamming there. So that's where the difference comes in.
Shadow.
For the moment, we just want to take care of these guys. We've got some wounded intellect devourers. This body, since I am sneaking now. It is nice that they only decided to keep one currency.
More of those wretched things.
Can I loot this without taking damage? I don't really want to risk it while there are enemies around. This is funny because it doesn't require stealth because they move? Doesn't look like it. Doesn't require stealth if you're just sneaking where people can't see. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I understand that would be much more difficult to implement in game. We have, looks like one on the move over here. Yeah, he's right there. Now she's got the high ground, which is pretty important.
These boots have seen everything.
And the reason why I'm controlling them one at a time too is because this is a little bit more fine control than having her follow may allow for. So funny.
Don't mind if I do.
Do that. It's right up behind him. No issue whatsoever. Alright, now that both of them are up here, and he is technically, there we go, it came back. Okay, so I've had that bug a few times, I guess you just have to wait it out. Now that we're up here, I think I can do this pretty safely. That guy's running all the way over there, perfect. We're gonna enter turn mode. Whenever you start a battle, you should always start a battle in turn mode. It's very, very important. So first thing we're gonna do is, because we're hidden, we have advantage, so it's pretty darn important for the kill. This one has more health, so while it might kind of be smarter to do this, I do want to just maximize my potential damage. I can't actually kill them, but with Shadowheart I might. So hopefully Shadowheart doesn't get revealed from this, because I do know that they do turn to luck when they take damage. So we'll see how it goes. Nice. I rolled max damage. I could have killed that one. So Shadowheart is not in combat. Okay, I'm not a fan of that. That's really annoying. Whatever, I gotta go again. I can definitely kill so long as I hit that one, which means I don't want to do that. Because... okay, I can just miss too, that's also a thing. And then we're gonna fall back as much as possible, and then end the turn. All three were surprised, which is excellent. We're gonna just go ahead and try to finish off Intellect Devourer. She did max damage, hot dang. And fall back a little bit, and we're not gonna... I think I can get through this without casting any spells. I definitely could have if I didn't freaking miss the one here. But taking a bit of a hit and taking a short rest wouldn't hurt. Okay, we definitely want to take care of the ones close by, so we'll just do this. It's also important to note that whenever you do a spell or something that might require... Oh wow, what was that? You pay attention to where it might move you. And for example, it might say, well, I have advantage because I was hidden, but this isn't where I'm going to end up standing. It's going to be in line of sight. So I don't want to attack if that's the case. So, but this case doesn't matter. We're hidden, we have high ground, and high ground gives an additional bonus. Which was... so I rolled a 13. They have a armor class of 7. No wonder my proficiency plus my high ground, which gives +2 to hit, which is why I like high ground, is basically increases the chance to hit by 10%, which is incredible early game. So we rolled minimum damage that time, go figure. And the important thing to note is that it's almost impossible to miss, except for a natural 1. You should never have a 100% chance to hit. And at the beginning, if you notice with advantage, I had a 99% chance to hit. It's actually higher than 99%, because you'd have to roll 2 natural 1s to fail in that instance, which is a 1 in 400 chance. So it can happen, but it's extremely rare. So luckily this Intellect Devourer is basically slower. Hopefully, let's see, I'm not likely to kill this one. I have just under a 50% chance to kill next turn, but it does go next and I might kill it in 1 hit. Got a 20% chance to kill it in 1 hit, so we're gonna try for it. Didn't do it. Bummer. Unfortunately, doesn't look like it's out of their line of sight either, but oh well, that's the luck of the draw. Ooh, wow, they actually came up. Oh, wow, that's mean. All right, so you'll do just fine. Now, I want to make sure that I'm not the one that gets hit because I already took damage, and I will be taking a short rest after this. Yeah, so I'd rather have her take some damage because we'll heal up to half. No, I don't want to do that. That's silly. Man, not having a wizard or someone that knows the one that gives you additional movement kind of sucks. Critical hit. Or not great damage. I'm not a huge fan of just doubling the dice. Because in this instance, I wish you could see what the individual rolls are. I like the brutal critical rolls where you roll, if you get a critical hit. So for example, with normal critical hit rolls, let's say you do like 1d8 plus 5. It's possible on a critical hit to do 7 damage. 7 damage is something you could easily get with a normal hit. So I don't like that. I personally would much rather prefer...
Perhaps our survival isn't such a distant...
Let's go ahead and pop a short rest. I could have gotten my spell slots back actually, because I get it back on a short rest. Now that I think about it, but either way, it's a short rest. Actually, wait, before I do that, because I have a spell slot, cast Armor of Agathis. Much smarter, because that lasts until long rest. So it's if you have playing Warlock, check to see if you have spells that last until long rest before you take a short rest and you have spell slots. We'll go and just take that, pop off. That's good.
No traps, please.
Alright. You can actually pick up the body, but I actually want...
Got to press on.
I want to pick up and drag, and it's possible that I can't because my strength is too low. Nope. Well, Shadowheart's got just as much HP as me.
My mind and, well,
So...
in it.
Oh, no, was able to do it without taking damage. Nice. There we go. Yeah.
At the ready. Something good here, I hope.
You know, the abducted nobleman with a rapier. Definitely want to keep the rapier. Oh, it actually does more damage too. It's a D8 versus a D6. Yeah, we're gonna equip that. Then add this to wares. Wait, was that Mudcap? Was that a... And we'll send the brains to camp. I don't need them here. Oh, the rapier isn't a light... Do you need 2 light weapons in order to dual wield? You do. Well, I'm not planning on wielding a weapon anyway, so it's fine. I will keep them so I can throw them. Can I not? Okay. What's that? So it's pretty important to have something on you to organize what you have. I'm going to go ahead and send this second backpack to camp. And that's just a item. So I like having my consumables in the same thing. So we're just going to make this one my consumable pack. Everything else gets added to wares. So am I wearing armor? Yeah, I'm wearing padded armor. So it's 11 plus my dex, which is 3. Yeah. Pretty meh armor, but what do you expect for what you get at the beginning of the game? Basic poison. Basically disappointing. There we go. Potion of speed. Bit disappointing. All right, so we could go that way. I'm not going to. I've got a very specific plan in mind. You see if I remember where all this... Ah, there's the living one. Yeah.
Footprints. Maybe even more survived the crash.
Dead goblins over there. Worth checking for supplies, maybe.
Into camp. Might end up having to send stuff to camp anyway because it might just be too heavy for me. Alright, so I could hop that. We're actually just going to come around this way.
What's going on with that rope? Looks unstable somehow.
Oh yeah, before I forget,
Whatever it takes.
should just guidance myself since I'm running around.
Shouldn't have wished.
I wish there was a way to like, I'm gonna look into a mod to see if there's a way to auto cast guidance.
Move.
Let's see, where is it? Right over here.
I hear shouting up ahead.
Scroll of fog cloud. Okay. I will have a wizard in my party, not until like level 5, but I will have a wizard in my party. I mean, Gale can also, but...
Of course it's dangerous. One of them can't absorb his whole squad.
So let's leave it.
And let
And my guidance is about to wear off.
I've got a long road ahead. Never wanted the easy path.
Yeah.
Zoru was right. Yellow as a toad, twice as ugly.
The thing's dangerous. Leave it for the goblins to kill.
Your skull pounds in response to the prisoner's white-hot stare. Her lips don't move, yet you hear.
I just saw them moving. What do you mean?
Get rid of them. Holy house. Under elf.
Lay time, Lae'Zel.
Oh, interesting. Because I'm a drow, I don't get the option to... Interesting. Wow, I knew this was gonna have some issues. It'll be interesting being a... Oh my god. Well, that's my first save scum of the game, because I'm not gonna attack these tieflings. I mean, I could theoretically, I guess, do non-lethal, but I only have one meleeer at this point. I don't want to do that. There's literally no other way to fail aside from a critical fail. I think I still could have actually reached because it's +2. Yeah, I theoretically, even with a... But here's the thing.
Another step
Technically, there's no such thing as a critical failure when it comes to skill checks in 5e.
Right.
Natural ones only guaranteed miss and combat.
Your skull.
So...
Lay time, Lae'Zel.
Yeah, because it's 3-5. I literally can't fail this. I can't roll lower than a... Yeah. I can't roll lower than a 7, so I can't fail that.
Demaze.
Come, Lae'Zel. Now.
Enough gawking. Get me down.
Say please.
Never.
So that's interesting that I couldn't deceive them. I wanted to deceive them, but because I'm a drow, I didn't have that
Observe and
option.
listen. You'll hear goblins before you
So,
As you say.
going to talk to you.
Something the matter?
Can I tell you to... Yeah, I can't.
If you're sure.
I'm sure.
As you like. Perhaps I'll see you at camp.
Oh, interesting. Concentration. Ooh, I wonder if they fixed that. Ooh, I got the artifact because she broke. Because she's no longer there. Okay. I wonder if they fixed that. I had a plan for what I was going to be doing. I could still do it with Shadowheart in the party, but, yeah.
I want to have a word.
Questionable intellect. Unsurprising.
Uh-huh.
Release me, or enjoy a future as Geich.
Mind Flayer.
Mind flayers. The
Go ahead.
atrocities we are becoming. I know a remedy. Release me and I will share it. Get me down.
Okay, is there an easier way to do this than... Guess not, huh?
The tadpole hasn't yet scrambled all your senses. Auspicious. But the longer we wait, the more it consumes. My people possess the cure for this infection. I must find a creche. You will join me. It is many things. A hatchery, a training grounds.
I think now that she says this,
Protocol is clear.
so the creche are basically outposts. I think I'm not 100% certain on this. The creche are basically outposts not on the astral plane. The astral plane means that time doesn't pass. This also means that, for example, you can't bring children to childbearing years. So, or you can't, like, once, you know, a woman gets pregnant, theoretically the child would never grow. I think. This is information from a long time ago. So, alright, let's journey together.
You have made an ally from Kresh Kalir. Few know such fortune. Call me Lae'Zel. Come. The Horned Ones mentioned a camp. One there, this Zoru, has seen Githyanki. A Kresh must be near. We will ask this Zoru where he has seen my kin.
Okay, so
Action, not reaction.
I'm going to level her up. She's gonna stay in fighter until level 5, then I'm gonna turn her into something else entirely. She's the only character that, because she's a fighter, there's like no unique dialogue, I'm pretty sure, so I don't really see the point. And we'll go ahead and accept this. They're up to level 2. So we will be changing her later. Now that we've done this, we can just really go travel to camp. And
I'll just keep going. Very well.
talk to Shadowheart.
Lae'Zel has a dangerous look in her eyes. Let's just hope she reserves
Now,
those
the reason
impulses for
why
any
I
common
did
foe.
this is because I am looking into some stuff in turn relationships, and I'm really curious in terms of you can save in the dialogue options. Interesting. I'm really curious into maxing out, because I know she doesn't get along with Lae, but I want to run with them in the party together. So I'm trying to do things early on to get their approval pretty high. So what's the story with the artifact you have?
There's no story. None
By the
that
way,
you're entitled
artifact
to
now that
hear
I
anyway.
have.
Just forget you ever saw it.
To know each other a little more?
Must we? No harm in a little mystery, don't you think?
If you're not comfortable, I won't press you.
Thank you. I'm sure we'll
Actually,
get along
wasn't
perfectly
sure
well.
if that would give approval. Join me.
All right. Some company wouldn't hurt on the road, especially if there's trouble.
Okay. Drower of Darkness. Oh, that's just continue traveling with her. Okay. Leave camp. I will say they did make it really nice and easy to do that, which I appreciate. I'll pick this up. By the way, you still have the sword, right?
Madness.
Yeah, the Everburn Blade. Let's run that. Vorn.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
Alright. I'm going to cut this video off here. Thank you all very much for watching, and God bless. If it would stop recording, it's not stopped recording. Why is that? Ah, whatever.